Macmillan Audio presents The Soulmate, written by Sally Hepworth. Read for you by Barrie Kreinik and Jessica Douglas Henry. Chapter 1. Pippa. Now. Someone is out there. I'm standing at the kitchen sink, my hands plunged in warm soapy water. Gabe is beside me, supposedly drying dishes, but mostly drinking red wine and singing to Edith Piaf. He made coq au vin for dinner using every pot in the house. But if there is one thing to be said for my husband, it's that he knows how to create a mood. He's dimmed the lights, lit some candles, even trotted out his best French accent. If not for the kids and my older sister Kat, who is perched at my kitchen counter, it might have been romantic. "Where?" Gabe asks. I lift my gloved hand and point through the window. It is a woman, I think, though it's hard to be sure with the sun setting behind her. In any case, I have a clear view of a figure 20-odd meters away, beyond the edge of our property, where the lawn gives way to a sandy walking path. Millionaire's Walk, the neighbors call it, for both its million-dollar views and the multi-million-dollar homes that line this part of the cliff. On the other side of the walking path is a sheer drop down to the jagged rocks and the beach 30 meters below. It's not uncommon for people to stop here and admire the view, particularly at sunset, but when they linger, it always gives me pause. There. I keep my voice quiet, steady. I don't have the privilege of hysteria, given the proximity of our curious 4-year-olds. "Call the police," he says to me as he heads toward the back door. Gabe is entirely unflappable. He's your classic run toward a burning building kind of guy. He might emerge a hero. He might not emerge at all. "Where are you going, Daddy?" Freya asks as Gabe reaches for his coat. "Going to catch frogs, Poppet," he says without breaking stride. I remove my gloves and drape them over the tap. Sometimes I wonder if I should be a little more like Gabe, more of a hero. Instead, I am a helper. In times of crisis, I am a creator of meal rosters, a collector of donations, dispenser of information. Last year, when news of the pandemic started to filter through, my entire family, parents, sister, sister-in-law, sister-in-law's parents, all called me with their questions on social distancing, masks, and vaccinations, hanging on my every word and taking notes as if I were an epidemiologist rather than a wills and estates lawyer. I rose to the challenge, dishing out advice gleaned from reputable, verified sources and subduing family panic. But the kind of emergency happening outside right now, that is Gabe's domain. I call the police from the next room. They don't need much in the way of an explanation from me anymore. I've made 7 phone calls like this since we moved to the cliff house a year ago. Now I merely say, "It's Pippa Gerard, there's someone on the cliff," and it's sufficient. It's hard to believe that we'd bought this house because of the cliff. "Imagine sitting outside on warm nights and watching the sun sink into the sea," Gabe had said the first time we saw it. What a dream. It did indeed seem like a dream. A cliffside home in Portsea, a sleepy coastal town a couple of hours outside of Melbourne, the last in a procession of increasingly exclusive beach towns at the very tip of the Mornington Peninsula. It seemed unfathomable that we'd be able to afford such a place, even if it was a ramshackle cottage rather than one of the sandstone mansions that flanked it. We were shocked to discover we could afford it. Being from the city, we weren't aware of the notoriety of the Drop, where the tall cliffs had become popular among those wishing to end their lives. By the time we realized, Gabe was too in love with the place to let it go. "Do we really want the girls to be around this, Gabe?" I'd asked him. "How are we supposed to explain it to them? And what if they wander too close to the edge themselves?" "We'll put a fence up. And if they have questions about the people who come to the Drop, we just answer them in an age-appropriate way." Gabe had been so calm, so pragmatic, that it was hard to
Sample complete. Ready to continue?